Bars is back. Sam Ant. Oh God. What's up with?
Attention all my business owners, if you would like to advertise your business right before each video that we do here on Hip Hop News Uncensored, make sure you email us right now, advertise@hiphopun.com, advertise@hiphopun.com, ask about our holiday specials.
Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop
It was
Uncensored.
the Grammys last night, man, and apparently the Grammys weren't the hottest thing that was going on last night.
Man.
It was an interview that dropped on $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, Gillian Wallow, with Jay Prince, Mike Prince, and Jay Prince Jr. And towards like the last maybe 3 minutes of the interview, sparks flew as Jay Prince pretty much everybody's saying that he threatened, Offset.
This Offset dude, I ain't gonna leave him out. I'm just real like this, because, niggas be throwing rocks and hiding their hand, right? They be throwing rocks and hiding their hand. And I don't like them kind of individuals, and the truth of the matter is, one can dance and different things in front of these different cameras and all that kind of shit. And when reality, the truth of the matter is, nigga, you wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So for you to be taking these positions that you taking, you know what I mean? And I got people everywhere, so I hear all kinds of things. I'm going to just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you. And, I have to say that. But it's $1 million worth of game. You know what I mean? It's $1 million worth of game, and I'm going to give it to him right on $1 million worth of game because I ain't going to throw rocks and hide my hand. I'm going to just let it be known, to him because I hear what's being said.
What's your thoughts on it, man? Because a lot of people are mad at Gillian Wallow. A lot of people are calling Jay Prince this, calling Jay Prince that. How do you feel about what transpired last night?
All right. So first off, people mad at Gillian Wallow should chill on that shit. They're journalists. They're doing podcasts in this realm of their life. They're asking questions. They didn't have him respond the way he responded. That grown man responded the way he wanted to.
Right.
And they opened the platform up for him to do so. And for the people saying that they shouldn't have put it up, you're crazy as hell to do all that work and all that content because that one part in there was in there not to put that up. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't really understand how much work goes into this, right? But anyway, that's that one part. I didn't whether you think that he threatened him, whether you think he was snitching. I've heard all kind of stuff about
Right.
what he said. I think he said too much.
Way too much.
I think he said too much, bro. And we've been kind of hitting at this the last couple of years. Somebody we have a tremendous amount of respect for is starting to water his message down, unfortunately, by getting behind this internet and saying some of the things that he said. Now, regardless of whether or not it was true, regardless of whether or not he feels that way, I mean, I don't think he would have said it if he didn't. But it's like certain things, and this is codes that we grew up on, codes that he wrote out on his, you know what I mean? Certain things don't got to get public. Certain things don't have to be on the airways for everybody to dissect and go ahead and put an opinion on. And some things need to be handled in private.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations because this is a very real situation. Like Offset said, there's families involved. There's a mom involved. There's members involved. We see how Quavo's still going through what he's going through.
Mm-hmm.
There's real people going through real heartbreaking situations. And for this to continue to play out on airwaves, it doesn't look good. It looks nasty, and I don't agree with it, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Out of all the platforms,
For real,
he came to sit with us, and it was a great interview. We'll be forever thankful for that. But that won't stop us for telling the truth about the situation. And the truth about the situation is, I really just think that he's an old school gangster. You know what I mean? And that this new internet thing is really not for him. I don't think he knows how to really navigate on it. That's something like you said, you say in private. You maybe say that on the phone or Offset or something like that. But you don't go on a podcast and start saying all stuff like that. It's something you just don't do. And I think, the fact that he did it, it's almost like maybe he wishes he maybe didn't say it, but he felt that way. I don't think that he was just saying to say. I
Right.
think he felt that
Right.
way,
Right.
but it was out of pocket. And I just think that you got to know. I always say this, that some things are better left unsaid. And people always say, "Oh no, you're not." Some things just better left unsaid, because once you put it out there, that energy out there, you see how Offset responded to it. It was crazy. Like he was ready to,
Yeah.
it looked like it's about to be a war between these two, and nobody wants to see that.
Right.
But then again, people it was saying when it first happened, and I and you was like, "Nah, I don't think the Princess had nothing to do with it," and I still don't think they had something to do with it. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Offset possibly maybe believe something went down, or I don't know what Jay Prince was hearing. He was hearing something. Offset pretty much said you should have picked up the phone and called him, which I agree with. But I don't know, man. I just think that I kind of feel like all parties ain't really feeling each other like that.
Nah,
over that death.
I don't either. And let me ask you this, have you ever, since October 31st, since Takeoff was murdered, heard Offset publicly say anything to kind of give you the idea that he felt that way? I don't.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Right.
And Jay Prince's response to that situation was, I heard what you were saying. So that must have been in private. Why not handle it in private?
Yeah, it had to be.
Why go there? Like, okay, if he was saying stuff, which he might have, we ain't never hear it. We knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And imagine if we still knew nothing about it. Because you know how the media is. And people were giving, these people are weird out here. But anyway.
Yeah.
People are going to run with this kind of drama and run with this stuff. Are we going to talk about it? Yes, we have to, because a million people are going to talk about it. We're going to give a real perspective to a real situation. We don't want to see anything happen to anybody.
Right.
A Takeoff was enough. We don't want to see anything happen to Offset, any of his family, the Prince family. No more stuff in Houston. I was just out in Houston. It's a beautiful effing city. It doesn't need any more black eyes. So hopefully they can kind of get to this in a manly matter, in the right way. But man, oh man, oh man, I just wish that it was handled privately. Like I said, I don't remember Offset saying anything publicly about his suspicion with the Prince family. Maybe he did. Maybe he retweeted something crazy that we missing. I don't know. But if it was private, I wish it would have stayed private.
As a journalist, it just asks all the right questions. And I do agree with them putting the clip out. The only how, it would have been kind of grimy if Jay Prince was like, nah, I don't want that going up. And they still put it up. But other than that, that's the content.
Yeah.
Once you do the interview, you could do whatever you want with it. And it needed to be said, but then people are looking at $1 million worth of game like, oh, they starting this and that. I don't see it like that. I see in them just, just like, don't shoot the messenger type shit.
If you got Jay Prince on your platform at this time, you're going to ask him about that situation.
For sure.
And if he's going to openly give you information, you're not going to stop him from doing it. Oh, no, this is too real, brother. Don't say. You're going to let him talk.
Yep.
We're in a media game. Yep. You need that information if the person's going to give it to you. That's just why you see athletes sometimes shutting the F up and not talking and not saying certain things. Yep. And that's okay, because not everything needs to be divulged to the media right away or at all. In this situation, this didn't need to be there at all, man. And I really wish it didn't. I don't put any blame on $1 million worth of game for asking the questions, putting the information out of any of that. I think this is a real situation between people in Takeoff's family, people within the former Migos, new Migos, whatever the case may be, in the Prince family, and they got to get that right. And hopefully they can do it privately, bro.
They got to sit down, I think, as men, whether it be on FaceTime, Skype, or I prefer face-to-face.
Word.
Leave the guns, leave the knives. You don't need nobody, nothing happening.
Right.
And talk face-to-face as men. It should just be Offset and Jay Prince. They meet somewhere and they talk, and I'll guarantee you 100% that they could come to, a resolution. You know what I mean? But hopefully they can handle that behind the scenes, man. But what do you think though? Because people were talking, and Quavo did the tribute, about Takeoff last night, and news outlets started reporting that because Offset couldn't get on stage and do the performance with Quavo, that they got into a scuffle at the Grammys. What's your thoughts on media outlets reporting that?
When I first saw it, it broke my damn heart. I ain't gonna lie, because you talk about, these were family members. I think Quavo was Takeoff's uncle. Yeah. And then they were cousins. Like they were closely related. Yeah. And I attribute that to you and I. I mean, 35 plus years that we've known each other, and we do business together, right? And do we always agree? No. Right. Are we always going to be on the same page? No. But family before all this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before all of this.
Yeah.
And to hear initially that there was a fight backstage, you obviously knew that there was some real deep rooted emotion involved with it. But you wish that could have been handled at somebody's aunt's house in the backyard if that were to really happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't do it publicly where everybody can see it. Now, if TMZ were the first to report it, and TMZ, if they got video content, they typically are going to show that right behind it. We didn't see anything.
Right.
Media outlet ran with it. We kind of stayed silent with it. We're waiting until we got here to kind of see the full information, and then we seen Offset say that was bullshit. Do you think he would fight his brother? Still calling Quavo his brother,
Right.
which is the right thing to do, and saying that y'all crazy. So I'm glad that they threw kind of like, you know what I mean? He put smoke out on that joint a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was true or not. I don't know if he was just playing damage control, but I hope it didn't happen. Because you don't want to see family doing that in a real situation where there's still real emotion involved. Somebody losing their brother, two people losing their brother, man. And, it hit a chord with me, man, because we family.
I'm sad that it's come to that. All the money that they made, all the hits that they made together. It's like, this is where we're at. You know, after, 10, 15 years of dominating the game, being trendsetters, birthing a lot of, rapper styles and all that. This is where we're at. I just hope, and this is from the bottom of my heart, that Quavo and Offset, can maybe not in public be all cool, but behind the scenes, whatever, if there's anything, you know what I mean? Obviously, we know there's business things going on with that whole thing, but hopefully they can just come back and give us that magic again. I don't have a problem with them separating and doing a separate thing. That was inevitable. But, I do honestly think they're going to remain brothers for life. This is just a little bump in the road. Because as you see, it ain't worth the petty shit.
Come on,
because any day,
talk about
somebody could be gone,
as
you guys see. So it ain't worth the bullshit. It just ain't, man. So, just hope, what's the best for them? What's the best for them? I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man. You like to say the time heals all wounds, but how you just close it out is powerful because how much time do we got? You never know. You leave here right now, God forbid something happen, and then you don't want to go out on a bad note. And I think either one of them brothers, if God forbid anything happened to them two, they won't be able to forget themselves knowing that they was at war with each other over some business, which I'm sure this has a deep root to have something to do with. Some business shit. And now you mixing in the personal and the emotion, and it's a lot going on. That might be the first time they seen each other since the funeral, if they really even conversed there. It was probably a lot boiling, and I can see how emotions can get the best of them. I can honestly see it, but I really hope it didn't happen, man, and hopefully they can come to a peaceful resolution for themselves, and then hopefully eventually through time, if we have it, they can come to, we can see that publicly. But like you said, prayers to both of them, bro.